I've been to the PGA Show every year since 2018, and I've avoided demo day like the plague. I mean, I was a TaylorMade player. I had no reason to come here and sample golf equipment. Now that I'm making content that revolves around testing and reviewing golf equipment, I'm at demo day, and today I'm determined to test and discover 4 brands that I haven't hit their golf clubs in at least 15 to 20 years. Ping, Mizuno, Titleist, and Cobra. You're maybe like, well, why those 4 brands? There's a lot of big brands and a lot of golf clubs to test, and I don't think I could cover it all in one video, so I picked these 4 for very specific reasons. I gamed Titleist when I turned pro. I was a full Titleist player. When I was in college, I used Mizuno irons. My junior golfing career was pretty much all Ping, and I don't think I've ever used a Cobra golf club, so that's why I picked those 4 brands. I've never gamed a Cobra club. Maybe I hit a Cobra club here or there as like a junior, but in the last 20 years, one's never been in my bag. So it was exciting because I hear really cool things about dark speed, and their irons, their King MB and CB irons look really good. So I grabbed those first, and my first impression was terrible. I'm sorry, but like I grabbed a pitching wedge of the MB, looks awesome. It felt awful. Just clanky. It was a wedge, and I wasn't like hitting it bad. It just felt really bad. But then I grabbed the King CB 4-iron, and it felt really, really good. And it got me thinking, like, I wonder, because they've got a DJ going and they've got a lot, like the acoustics at their tent or booth or setup were all skewed, and sound translates to feel. And then maybe that's why it just didn't feel very good, because the sound was just kind of like, hard to hear impact, let alone feel impact. So that's what I thought. And then I grabbed the dark speed. I first hit dark speed, and it was like, oh, wow. This is fast. This is really fast. It looks okay. It's not my favorite look, but I like the whole matte kind of stealth bomber look, but it was like, you hit it. Wow, that's fast. You can just tell it's fast. So then I got on their TrackMan, and it was like, whoa. 177 ball speed? Over 305, 310 in the air? Like, so fast. And it felt really good. Miss hits didn't feel so good. It's not like the speed went down, and I was using the LS head. I know it's the less forgiving head. The difference between a miss hit and a solid hit was a little too much, but I was like, wow, this thing is really, really fast. It's gonna be hard to top it, I think. Like, that's kind of what I thought, so I went on to the next booth. The last time I played a Titleist was 2011. I think I still had AP2 irons, the 909 D3, the 906 F2, Vokey wedges, and I think I was maybe even using a Scotty Cameron. Like, I turned pro using Titleist irons. I was a Titleist staff player for 8, 9, 10, and 11. So my experience with Titleist was good. I played Titleist. I had a 975D as a kid. Like, I have good memories with Titleist. I love looking at Titleist golf clubs. So the first thing I grabbed was the TSR 4, which is like the smaller head. It felt really good. It felt really solid. It looked so good. It looked so good. It was like, what a great, just felt like a Titleist. Looked like a Titleist, felt like a Titleist. Then I grabbed the 620 irons. I remember when Titleist went to that kind of blade, Adam Scott was using it. It's like, just classic. Just so classic, and it felt so good. This iron felt like money. Yeah, it was great. And then I went back kind of with the team there. We got on a TrackMan, and they worked to dial me in. The numbers were just great. Like, I carry it like 285 to 290. I know that, and I was doing that. The miss hits were still really good. I kind of toe it, or I hit it off the toe and I pull it. That's kind of my miss hit, but it's not like it hooks. And if it can kind of hold that like left line off the toe pull, but still fall a little right, man. It wasn't as fast as dark speed, but it felt so much better. It just felt classic. The booth experience was much more professional, much more classic. I couldn't test the wedges at that time because Brad Faxon was doing a Vokey clinic, and I wasn't gonna just wait. We had other golf clubs to hit. Ping always has prioritized fitting you into your golf club. My dad was a Ping staff professional at the club, so I played Ping irons growing up. I had 2 sets of I2s, orange dots for a couple summers and then black dots for a couple summers. And I used the ISI in like 1998. Driver that kind of looked really silly, but felt really cool and sounded really cool. And I used Ping Answer 2 putters for a long, long time. So I've got good memories from Ping, but I remember it being very fit centric. And yeah, you waited in line. I waited in line for like 45 minutes to hit balls because they only had like 8 or 10 stations, each with a fitter. So it just kind of speaks to their demo day experiences. They want you to experience the true Ping experience, which is being fit. First and foremost, I just wanted to see that 10K driver. I hit it. The footprint of it just is too big for me to my eye. It felt really, really good, but it's just not for me. But then we kind of started, ramping it up. I put the 430 LS head in though. Wow. So I was hitting it with like Ventus Black, which is kind of what I was using everywhere. That's what I use in my club. And it was like, dude, this is good. It just felt so classic, so punchy, so solid. And then the fitter was like, well, let's try one of like our proprietary shafts, the Ping Tour 2.0. I think UST Mamiya makes them. And it was like, what? This is incredible. I can hit it so solid, so predictable, so stable. And then I was like, all right, we'll start stepping into this and see what happens. And that's what happened with Dark Speed. I'll step into it a little bit more, harder to control. Step into this, just even better. It was so fun and so good. 1, 2, 3 drivers in, best driver I had hit. For sure, that 430 LS with the Ping Tour 2.0 shaft. I was like, I want this in my bag right now. This is so good. Then I hit some of the Blueprint S irons and it was like butter. Bigger than what I'm used to looking at, but just it felt kind of like a blade at impact. Like it was just so good. The performance was awesome. The experience was awesome. I really, really, really want to get my hands on that driver. So the last stop for my day was Mizuno. I played Mizuno irons, the Pro 2. I think it was like a combo progressive set for a few years, like basically all of college, maybe until my final year of college. So it was like I had good memories. I remember all the Tezoid stuff when I was a junior golfer. Like they were like, you aspired to play Mizuno golf clubs. I mean, Tiger used those irons. Nick Faldo used that. Like you aspired for that because they were the players club. They were the hardest clubs to hit, but like the best clubs to play. And the booth experience was a lot of bays, a lot of clubs everywhere. There was a lot of buzz and excitement. It felt really good. But while I was waiting to get on a TrackMan, I was like, okay, let's just like grab everything. Like I just want to hit the irons because that's my memory to them. Watching a guy hit driver and it was like, oh yeah, I've seen their driver. It just went on tour. Let's hit that. I grabbed the wedges though. Blue wedge, the S24. It looked awesome. Looked really good at address. Felt awesome in the turf. And then as I was hitting it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the Mizuno ball. They make a ball. It feels really good. Okay. So then we get on TrackMan and I grabbed the STG driver and it was like, this looks really good at address. Ooh, it feels really good. Kind of played around with it. Man, getting really good numbers. Like I can live when I'm swinging well, like right around 170 ball speed. If I sneak a little bit over 170, that's amazing for me. Just the numbers were really good. It felt really good. Obviously, we're at a 360 range, so the wind has changed. Like Cobra, you were kind of downwind. Titleist, you were a little down off the left. Ping, you were straight kind of into off the left. It was a really hard wind. And then Mizuno, you were kind of into off the right now. So it was fun for that experience, but obviously it's creating different flight. But the driver felt really good, but I was like, I really want to hit these irons. I know they're great. It's been 25 years-ish, but like, let's hit them. And I hit the 245s first, and those things are buttery like rocket launchers. They look really good at address. Like they don't look like a big clunky like hot iron. They look like blades, and they just. But they're strong. Their lofts are stronger, so they were just a bit too hot and not spinning enough for me. But then it was the 243s. Ike was my fitter there, and he was like, we had so much fun talking through everything, and the 243 iron was like, I want this in my bag. We had the 7 and we had the 8, and that's where the metal changes. So the 8-9 pitching wedge is like more of that forged metal, and then 7 up is, I think it's called chromoly. It's called chromoly. The 8, like it felt really good, but it also felt very predictable, very playable. But then the 8 iron felt like, oh, I can do whatever I want with it. I would love to get my hands on a full set of those. Obviously, like make a full video, but also potentially just play them because they just in 15 minutes of hitting them were like, wow. these are so good. Like, they're so good. And then going back to the ball, obviously now I've hit the ball with nearly every club in the bag, and the numbers obviously in TrackMan were great. Felt really good. It kind of pops a little bit higher, so that for a lot of people is because I was really impressed with the ball. That's it. Those are the 4 brands that I wanted to hit, and I was incredibly impressed all the way down to like impressed. Like, there was standouts at every booth. Easily, I think like the through the bag winner was Mizuno. There's so much that impressed me at Mizuno. The driver that impressed me the most was that 430 LS. Yes, dark speed was fast AF, but it didn't impress me the way that the 430 LS impressed me. So, geez, there's a lot of great golf clubs out there. The fact that like my playing career, I obviously used great golf clubs, but now I'm able to hit and use everything. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to dive more into all of this and share this all with you because, geez, there's a lot of good golf clubs out there.